Chalk, and one more. Yes, chalk. All the 1 seeds are going to San Antonio in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. What are your thoughts so far this year on this edition of March Madness? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it boring? Are you excited for the elite?
It's funny because Christian came up to me today, who's not a big college basketball guy, but wants to get into the tournament. And he proceeds to tell me about how the sole good game this weekend Christian was busy for, so he couldn't watch it. And it was that Texas Tech-Florida game, which was basically the sole good Elite Eight game that you missed. And so you didn't watch anything of interest on Saturday and Sunday, huh?
No. I turned the TV on, and I regret turning the TV on with those Elite Eight games. Listen, this is what you ask for, right? Hey, we don't want Cinderellas, we don't want this,
well,
we don't want that.
Well, there's none to choose from. It was a bunch of 2s and 3 seeds, but yes.
Well, yeah, I'm saying this is what you ask for at the first weekend. This is what the end result that was requested by Rizzo and half-heartedly Russo. You kind of wanted one Cinderella in there or not, but it was by and large a good thing for the rest of the tournament.
I want good games, dude. I want good games.
Colin, Christian, I'll wear this. If I'm not allowed to have this take, let me know if I'm a fraud. But yeah, this tournament stinks. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. This has stunk. And I got what I wanted. But here's my rebuttal. Cinderella would have made this worse. Would it be a 100-point game instead of a 25-point game if beautiful Cinderella was there? I mean,
yes, because Cinderella got to where they were because they got lucky. They all of a sudden get hot from beyond the arc. They don't really belong there, but they have luck's fortune, and that's how they stay in these games, and that makes it a little more interesting.
I agree with you, Christian. It has stunk, Kyle. I mean, outside, I told you about 5 games. We went through 5 games earlier in the show that were like, yeah, those are good games. I mean, usually we get that on the first day, right? Yeah. Usually you get 5 good games on the first day. We're at the Final Four.
What could happen in the Final Four of the national championship for this to make up for it?
3 good games, I'll be a happy camper.
No. Kyle thinks we're getting the full.
If you get 3 triple overtime classics.
There could be 7 buzzer beaters, 6 overtimes in these final 3 games. It would not matter. But there's a reason why we say the first 4 days of the tournament are the most exciting days of sports. Is because that's the most exciting part of the tournament. We didn't get that at the perceived sacrifice of having a better second weekend of the tournament.
Which hasn't happened.
Game. Didn't get that either, so I am done with it. I might not watch the games.
Now, Colin thinks we're going to get a magical ride in the Final Four, and I hope you're right, Colin.
I think it's going to be really good. Right. Am I wrong on that? I think it's going to be really, really good. Am I not allowed to say that?
I just think Duke's going to dominate Houston. They've dominated the whole tournament, and I think we're going to get one good game with Florida and Auburn, 2 teams that know each other, 2 teams that have played each other in the regular season. I think that's going to be close. They got the quality. I feel like, Kyle, with the 1 seeds outside, excluding the Florida game with UConn and the Florida with Texas Tech, all the other 1 seeds weren't really challenged. Auburn's biggest challenge was the 1 half of basketball in the first 2 halves of basketball, 1 against Creighton and 1 against their 16 seed. They really rolled the rest of their games.
So Ken Pom is a popular rating to determine how much better a team is than usually the crowd for that year. It is basically, think 0 is about the strikingly terrible, but plus 36. It's a rating metric system that college basketball uses, and it's very reflective of champions and teams that are top of the line, the whole thing. So Ken Pom is by the year. 4 of the top 10 Ken Pom teams, which date back to 1996 and 1997. 4 of the top 10 are playing on Saturday. Duke this year is number 2. Houston this year is number 6. Florida this year is number 8. And Auburn this year is number 10. Notable teams that are in that, 2014-2015 Kentucky is in that. 98-99 Duke is in that. UConn of last year is in that. So these are all great teams. So I think it's just a testament to really just how lopsided the 1 seeds versus the field was. So sue me for being excited that maybe we're going to have some big gauntlet heavyweight matchups this weekend.
Well, the men's basketball tournament has turned into the women's college basketball tournament. where you have 4 great teams, and then in the first, second, third round, you get scores like 108-44.
Yeah.
Well, it happens, but I mean, there were good games. Like the Ole Miss-Michigan State game was interesting. The Michigan-Auburn game was interesting for the most part of it. Arkansas-Texas Tech was good. Florida-Texas Tech was good. There's not 100 of them.
It's 5.
But yeah, UConn on the women's side wins by 60 points a game.
If I was 14 years old 2 weeks ago and I stayed home sick to watch the tournament, I would have never forgiven myself.
If I stayed home sick, I would not have been pleased. I mean, from work, I wouldn't have been pleased. I agree. There's no doubt in my mind it did not have been a dramatic tournament. But it doesn't mean you can't be excited for the Final Four.
And I'm willing to tell you, it stunk. Stunk.
I was sold on the fact that because there was not the UConn of last year or the UConn of 2 years ago, there was not one dominant team to where it's them versus the field. I was sold on the belief that it was going to be a parity-filled, what the hell is going to go on, and we got the opposite of that. Somehow, the opposite of that.
4 of the top 10 KenPom teams of all time, since the rating started in 1996-1997, playing in the Final Four. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Not be excited?
I'm not.
This is a rare Final Four where all 4 teams can win it all. All 4.
You can get excited on Saturday morning. That's when you can get excited for. We have nothing to talk about.
You can't talk. Are you going to do a little Final Four live at Live Golf on Saturday?
I might mention it. Like, hey, coming up on ESPN 106.3, this is the programming schedule. That's my Final Four preview.
Yeah, was Christian going to be talking torpedo bats Saturday morning? So
you're going to avoid the Final Four. You're done with the Final Four, so we're not going to get your thoughts on this the rest of the week.
Yeah.
We're on Monday. You're no longer allowed to speak about college basketball. So when we get 3 classics on Saturday and Monday of next week, you cannot say a word.
Fair enough.
You can't even watch it.
2.
You got to give us an evidence that you didn't watch it, too. We're going to make you suffer.
Live stream camera of me in my living room just watching Breaking Bad.
Watching something else.
No, watch the Yankees.
Yeah, there we go. Number 2, the NFL owners' meetings are taking place right down the street at the Breakers in West Palm Beach. Colin, you were there. Theo from Theoretically Speaking from 2 to 4 here on ESPN 106.3 were there. What was it like?
Yeah, give me
Who'd you talk to? What's going on?
Give me the vibes,
It was cool. I got to talk to a couple of, I introduced myself to a couple of the Jags beat writers, which, I don't know, I follow those guys.
Colin, by the way, Jag fan,
They're the life and blood of the Jaguars followership. So I gave them their props. I introduced myself to Liam Cohen, the Jacksonville Jaguar head coach, and he said, "Hi, I'm Liam." I know, Liam. Thank you.
He's got a good face.
Do you have a name? Was he name tag guy today?
No, I don't think they had name tag. No, they did all of name tags. They did all of the little things. But said hello to D'Amico Ryan. Said hello to Aaron Glenn briefly. Said hello to Pete Carroll, which was interesting. It's cool seeing all these guys. Very casual. All the media guys. Impossible for the NFL. You got to see Schefter and him talking about the tush push a little bit. That was my big takeaway of the whole thing. Because these coaches don't give you a ton unless there's a story to follow. But I was impressed with Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, because Zach Taylor stuck around for about an hour and change doing stuff with the media, talking with all the beat writers, asking questions about them and their families and their schedules and the whole thing. I give Zach Taylor a lot of credit for that. It takes some humility, weirdly enough, to be that good with the media. I give him credit there. So you can see how some of these guys perform with their local beat writers that are traveling to go talk to them. So it was a cool little event. The NFL does a good job. I got a kick out of it. You got the next one tomorrow at the NFC.